Black Adam. Oh boy,
here we go.
Let me just. You know what? No, Russell. Tell me your overall thoughts. Because if I start, I won't stop if you let me. Just.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. Look, I'll play devil's advocate. Look, movies like this where I'm just like I'm very aware that I'm gonna have to go in with very low expectations, or at least the expectation of at least I'm gonna have fun, and that's realistically all I want out of this film. Black Adam is fun. It's just a bit balls to the wall. There's some cool kind of Snyderish action. Credit where credit is due. But at the same time, it's like, look, I'm very much aware this is every superhero movie ever. And like going back to the comment I made, how like a supporting character, Namor, in another film is a better Black Adam. That still very much stands because I think they're like, cool, yeah, look, anti-hero. But it's like, well, you're not really paying that off. You're not really exploring that. You're just sure there's a nice little twist with, of course, finding out that Black Adam, the guy who plays Black Adam, character-wise, was in the original one. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. That was his son. Like, I get a bit of an emotional moment there. Good twist.
Wait, what? Oh, you're talking about a twist at the end. Okay. I thought you meant there was like another Black Adam movie. I'm like, hang on.
No,
what?
no. I meant this. No.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I forgot about that twist. Yeah. That was an okay twist. It was an okay twist. Yeah,
it was a great twist, but like that's what I'm trying to get at. It's just like it's all okay, and the action is serviceable, and there's a bit of fun to have, but just a lot of threads that didn't go anywhere, including the Atom Smasher and the Whirlwind chick. I don't remember her name.
Cyclone, I think her name.
Yeah.
Very generic superhero name.
Didn't even need to be there. Like I'm already getting negative. I'm usually more positive than this, but like I'm willing to look at at the fact that I had some fun. And honestly, the best fun I had was at the very freaking end of the film when my boy Superman, my boy Henry Cavill comes walking through the screen. All I really cared about was like, that's all I'm honestly here for, and I'm out.
Oh, that's the only reason I went to the cinema. Yeah. I wanted to see that post-credit sequence, even though I'd already seen it on TikTok.
Oh, no.
but you know what? They even screwed that reveal up because the music isn't from the Man of Steel movie. It's from the Christopher Walken Superman movie. And this outfit isn't even the Snyder one, the black one. It's the blue and red one, the classic one. So it's kind of like you were just really pandering to the very nostalgic element. Like you're not even trying to be okay, let me just get into this. Okay.
Yeah, go.
I'm scraping.
So here's my beef. Now, Dwayne Johnson, I love him. And I love him and I love to hate him. For the same reasons I love to hate Vin Diesel. This movie is how much did it cost? I think it was like $800 million or something to make, some shit like that.
Oh, jeez.
All I remember, I know it needed $800 million to break even at the box office, and it didn't reach it. So it's technically a flop.
Well, that's excluding marketing costs as well.
I believe so. But anyways, so this film is the world's most expensive masturbation project for Dwayne Johnson. It is simply there to stroke his ego, and he's probably like the amount of times he's jizzed throughout the production of this film is probably insane.
Because if there's one man that needs his ego stroked, it's The Rock.
Oh yeah, it's bad enough he looks like a giant human penis, but okay. Because look, for those who don't know the history of this film, this is what happened. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was cast as Black Adam 12 years ago. 12 years ago. Why? Because Black Adam is the bad guy for Shazam. It goes Superman, Lex Luthor, Batman, the Joker, Shazam, Black Adam. But Dwayne he's like, no, you're not doing the character justice. He needs his own solo movie. And Warner Brothers like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's a bad guy. So no, he's an anti-hero. Or, yeah, maybe in like once in a comic, but like he's the bad guy. It's like, no, he needs his own solo movie. So anyways, 1,000 years later, they make a Shazam film, but Dwayne Johnson, now one of the biggest stars in the world, is like, I'm not going to be the bad guy in a Shazam film. I need my very own film. And they're like, fine, fuck, we'll do whatever we can just to shut him up. So make Shazam film, which is actually pretty good. I really like the Shazam film.
Yeah.
But because Dwayne Johnson
He didn't appear in the Shazam film, did he?
Nope, not at all. No, for all most audiences know, he's got nothing to do with Shazam except for one line of dialogue in this film. He says the word Shazam at one point, and that's it. And he probably said it with while gritting his teeth, because apparently Dwayne Johnson hates the character Shazam. But anyways, it's the only. Yeah, apparently he hates Shazam. He said it. Oh no, sorry. He didn't say it, but people close to him have said this, so it could be false. But the truth is it's the same reason why I wanted to play Hercules. He wants to play the coolest person possible, and he wants to play Superman. They wouldn't let him play Superman. He goes, okay, can I play someone who's stronger than Superman? And so they made all these films so he could eventually fight Superman. Apparently, he twisted the arms. He probably did some choke slams.
So hang on, what are they going to do there with his contract then? If he's saying in his contract, I have to win the fights or draw. Does it just every time he fights Superman, he's just going to draw? Or if they meet?
Well, they'll do the same thing they did in this film, the same thing they did in Godzilla versus King Kong, the same thing they did in Batman v Superman, which is it's equal amount of punches thrown. The same thing in Freddy versus Jason technically wasn't the same. But all these superhero films where it's like this superhero versus this superhero, they can't damage the brand. So they have this equal amount of punches trade between each. And at the end, as they go to attack each other, they find out, oh no, there's actually this guy, some other villain that started it. Have to fight that. Because in this movie, he's fighting the Justice Society, which is basically the Wish version of Justice League. And he doesn't kill any of them, even though he keeps saying I'm the superhero that kills. And he fights his superheroes, but then they realize, oh no, there's a big demon monster. We have to fight the demon instead. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was saying.
Which hasn't been done before.
Oh,
ever.
No, never. It's so original, guys. But the whole point of all this is they made this movie just so he could eventually build up to fighting Superman, because he wants to be able to punch Superman in the face, because this is all a big ego stroking exercise for Dwayne Johnson. So he could be like, look how strong I am. Look at my muscles. I'm so cool. And that's every scene of this fucking movie. It's look at me. I'm so cool. I'm so strong. Every doopy I'm so strong. I'm so cool. And that's every fucking scene. It'll be like, oh, there's a bunch of guys with guns. Oh, I beat them because I'm so strong. Bunch of superheroes try and fight him. I beat them all because I'm so strong. It's like, can this character have a simple flaw? Can he just be like because he's a god. He's better than ever. Shut the fuck up. Like, the whole point of this is meant to be, oh, we got to do the character justice. It's like, what justice are you fucking doing for this character by turning him into this one-note, boring motherfucker? And in this movie, he's just like, the craziest thing is the entire press run, Dwayne Johnson has been like, this is the hardest ever worked on a film. It's my most biggest passion project ever. But it's without a doubt his worst performance in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like he looks bored the whole time. He's trying to be so serious and everything. And you just know it's a flawed concept because during the press run, he leaked it for his own movie. So, in the post-credit scene, I got to meet Superman and the Superman. And apparently the producers were like, what the fuck? Yeah. And that's because this film has nothing going for it. So like, and apparently that was a reshoot. It wasn't in the original film, but they knew there was no hype for this movie because no one gives a fuck about Black Adam because he shouldn't have had his own solo movie in the fucking first place. So they had to shoehorn in this cameo just to make the character just so the movie had a chance of making its money back. They overshot the how popular his character is. That's because that's been the last 12 years putting in video games and adding in comics to make people recognize who he is because he's a nobody. But if they just put him in a Shazam movie, the Shazam movie would have been better. This movie would have been better. And then we would have been happy. I'm sorry, I'm getting really worked up. This is Venom all over again. I'll calm the fuck down. I apologize for my rant.
No,
I have no idea how I'll cut any of this.
I feel your frustrations, though, for sure. Like, I've always been, again, a reoccurring theme with me. I've always been like a a rock apologist in the sense of like, I always thought of him as like this kind of weird new age, like golden man of Hollywood. He's in every movie ever. Like he's charismatic. Is he the best at what he does? Probably not, but he's the best at being the Rock, you know?
Yeah.
So going into this film, again, I was like, I knew I was going to at least be entertained by his version of Black Adam. But, you know, more you talk about it, I really do understand that he's very much one note. There are better performances where I've been much more emotionally invested in a Rock character. A Rock character? Yeah. That doesn't sound right.
There's just nothing happens in this movie. It's like, it's all in the one location, which is weird. Like every Dwayne Johnson movie, it's like a globe-trotting adventure. I think it's his first movie in a while where he doesn't go into a jungle, although he does go to a desert. So it's kind of like a jungle of sand.
Oh my God, dude.
That's got to be a TikTok.
Yeah.
Does he interact with any rocks or leaves?
Rocks, I think so. There's a lot of rubble. It's mostly the whole place takes place in some fictional city, which is basically Afghanistan or some Middle Eastern country type thing, and he just throws people into buildings the whole time. That's basically the whole movie. Come to think of it, though, it's also like they're very vague on where this place is and who the people are. Because in the flashbacks, everybody looks like they're like African, but in modern times, they all look like they're Middle Eastern. And I think they're just like, oh, Dwayne Johnson is ethnically vague enough. Who cares what nationality anyone is? Because he's like,
he does not look Middle Eastern.
No,
I think he just wants people to think he's black. He's like, come on, guys, I had a rap song with Tech Nine or something. But like, I don't know, man. It's the whole ethnicity of this film is very confusing because it's a fake country, and it literally seems like the flashbacks in the modern times, like the extras, like different like ethnicities. So
it's supposed to be based
weird.
in like the Egyptian sort of. It's Egyptian inspired. That's very much for sure.
Right. So does that track? And am I just dumb? Or
no. I mean, look.
Because Dwayne Johnson is 100% not Egyptian. He played the Scorpion King, but that doesn't make you Egyptian, mate.
I think him showing being like bald-headed and then obviously the flashbacks being slaves, I feel like it fits for what they're trying to do, which imitate like a little bit of the slaves during the Egyptian times. But no, right. To your point, fair enough. Do you know, if you think about it, how does he, of all people, a person from the era of that era, doesn't have an accent? He's the only character who doesn't have an accent. Everyone else does, but he just sounds like The Rock.
Because The Rock doesn't need an accent.
It doesn't need an accent.
He's just The Rock.
I didn't think of that. He's like the only actor in this film, except
he put in his contract. I need to talk like I normally talk. I'm not doing it.
Well, don't forget, the last time he tried an accent was Fast 5. And in Fast 6, that accent was gone. He dropped that accent so fast.
In Fast 5.
In Fast 5, he's like, okay, you listen here, boy. He's super American, like almost like a Texan almost. Like it's almost a little bit like a redneck twang. And then in 6, he's just back to, ha-ha, do it for the kids. I'm The Rock. Okay, I never forget a name. I never forget a face. Watch Fast 5 again. He has like a goatee.
Yeah, I remember
he
that.
has weird facial hair, and he's putting on an accent because he's trying to be an actor. It's like, no, your job is to squint your eyes, have your eyebrows like this, occasionally like this, and just say some cool things like this. Ha! And then laugh when there's a joke. Ha! For the kids.
For the kids.
That's
controversial opinion. Most of Rock's movies are shit. Some are mediocre. I don't know if any are actually good.
You know what it is The Rock is a 4-quadrant actor. He's trying to appeal to every demographic at the same time. He has to be very family friendly. He's trying to be a good influence. And by trying to appeal to everybody, sometimes you don't appeal to anyone. And I think that's why a lot of these films are very safe, but they're also like, not only are they safe creatively, but they're probably safe financially. And that's why studios love actors like him. And that's why audiences love projects like that. The same could apply to.
But this one was a bomb, wasn't it? Black Adam was a bomb.
It was. I think they were but I think Warner Brothers is very surprised by this being a bomb. But I'm not surprised. It's like there are no your second billing is Pierce Brosnan, who hasn't had a film since like a big hit film since James Bond, which was like 20 years ago or 10 years ago.
Mamma Mia counts, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm sure the audience going to see DC superhero films are the same for going to see Mamma Mia.
Yeah, totally.
Sure. Definitely the same audience. There's a lot of crossover there. And the others are mostly, I think, newcomers for the most part.
To be fair,
I did like Hawkman though. I did like
most of the money probably went to the catering for The Rock in this movie during the production.
Oh, for sure.
$6 meals a day. And the other half went to his salary.
Yeah. I'm also really over these action fight scenes where it's just people picking someone up, throwing them into a building. And that's just repeat. Like I prefer to see some choreography. I prefer to see some action.
100%.
Yeah. It's really Russell, your what you said about Namor being a better Black Adam is so on point. I'm surprised how similar the characters are and their journeys are. And it just makes you realize, damn, like it's funny how it's very similar, but so different.
No, but it proves your point as well. Black Adam should have been Shazam. He should have been an antagonist where honestly, maybe the character and the actor could have shined a little bit more because he had an actual nemesis to play off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, man, this movie, you know what though? I'll be there day one for Black Adam 2.
Yeah.
I want to see him fight Superman. Like,
I don't honestly, I'm gonna be very honest with you. As much as that, I think a lot of people would be like, haha, that's cool. In my head, makes absolutely no sense. Like as a idea, like, haha, it's funny. But to me, it's like Superman should be doing other things than this. Superman is Superman. Black Adam is here. You can't. No, like it's just for me. I think if I'm gonna get really negative, it's like I get you really want to push in some more hype back into the DCU. Like I get it. Like we're trying to get back on track, and that's the whole thing they're trying to do. And I do want it to be back on track because I actually care about some of these fucking characters, right? Yeah. But if you're telling me the way to do that is that you're gonna somehow pit Superman against Black Adam, no way. Like I think my blood sort of boils because Superman as a character is very important to me, and he stands for a lot. And it's like you want to use him in a Black Adam. Like there's no point being in that movie, but whatever.
If Black Adam is a villain in a Superman Man of Steel movie, I'm okay with that. But if Superman's the villain in a Black Adam movie, nah. And what I'm really curious about though is like the person saying all this shit, it's Dwayne Johnson. You know who's not saying this? James Gunn, the new head of DCEU. So I'm really curious to see what happens moving forward. I'm very curious to see how James Gunn picks up the pieces and uses what they have. That being said, if you look at DC's biggest successes lately, most of it is all the stuff not connected to the DCEU. The Batman, Joker. I would argue Harley Quinn is one of the best adult animated comedies on air right now.
Yeah.
Sure, there's been a few other good ones, but we'll see what happens moving forward. I'm sure there have been some great things like Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, but
yeah, the pieces, like you said, the pieces are there, and like again, nice way to tie in everything. It's like James Gunn has a chessboard in shambles a little bit, so he's got to put the pieces back up and figure where they stand. But look, James Gunn is very much an expert at handling many characters, and he's proven that. So, what's the expression in James Gunn we trust or whatever they say? Yeah, in we trust, right? So like, we'll see. I just
James
hope
Gunn.
What was that?
I was just going to say James Gunn's playing chess. James Gunn's playing chess. The Rock's playing Hungry Hippos.
Yeah. Not even checkers.
Man. I think there's going to be some fights behind the scenes between Dwayne Johnson and I think James Gunn. And there's no other actors, I think, in the DC with massive egos. A lot of them seem pretty content and chill. Even Ben Affleck seems to be keen to get back into the suit now. The only other problem is, I guess, Ezra Miller, but I don't think they're staying around for very long. Although I hear the Flash movie is apparently really good. That's what the word is.
Right.
So
Are they
we'll see
releasing
what
that or?
happens.
They should.
Apparently, the idea they pushed it back, but apparently they intend to still release it. But that was before Ezra. I think did Ezra just get some jail time or something, or might be facing jail time? I think they might be facing some jail time now. But they said that was the word before that. I know they're on the run or some shit.
Yeah, they were like, it's some crazy stuff. I think people blew it out maybe a little bit more out of proportion. Maybe not. Maybe it's exactly how crazy as it sounds. But
there definitely is a video online of Ezra Miller choke slamming this poor girl at a bar. I've seen it, and it's insane. It's like, wow, that is the opposite of what a superhero should do.
You know what? People have been saying, and I totally agree, because Grant Gustin is my Flash. He's always been
yes.
Just honestly, if you just swap him out, no one in their right mind would ever question it. Be like, yep, he's the Flash.
I'm okay with that.